Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. Gonna ring some bells here. They may be a little loud. If you're sensitive, you may want to turn your volume down, and we'll see what comes through here. So I'm seeing like an evergreen tree, and uh, it looked pretty perfect, like a triangle. And the way the bells were ringing was really important to me, as in like starting small, and then I tried to ring them a little harder, and then they double hit, and then the third hit was louder, and I set it down, and it hit again. This is a growth of some sort. We can look at the tree, you know, very, uh, the triangle is important for some reason of how, like, it's just so perfect, but I'm looking at it as it's growing up. Uh, Technically, I guess wider would be quieter, a more lower tone, going up to a higher pitch here. The perfect, it seems like a problem to me because it is, are we trying to make something perfect? Because when I rang the bells, that wasn't perfect to me. It wasn't what I wanted. And yet the tree is growing perfect anyway. We can really look at this as an aspect of how we view things and how they're supposed to be, or how we wanted them to be, and what we saw as perfect uh, isn't happening, but yet what is happening is perfect, which, if we really look at life, that is true, but we don't always feel that way about it. We don't always see it that way. It's always that saying, "Hey, you're right where you're supposed to be. Everything's going right, right on cue." Ten of Cups reversed. This is us thinking it's wrong. It's not right. It's not going the direction we want it to go. It's not looking, or I'm hearing it the way I want it to hear. But yet that tree was perfect. It was a perfect cookie cutter uh, evergreen for Christmas, if we will. Two of Pentacles reversed. Instability. This is creating it within ourselves. Maybe we're trying to change things, just as I did with the bells. I tried to change the tone, and it still wasn't good enough. There is, I guess we really have to get in touch with ourselves here at this place, depending on what it was that we're going after, or we still are going after, whether just an internal place, an external experience, job, home, relationship, experience in general. Uh, when we were going after that, and we had that dream, we had that plan, we had that goal, whatever it was, at what point did we make that decision? Did we want that? Was it in a wounded space? It may not have been, but let's just ask, if it was in a wounded space, and through this process, I'm actually healing that, I may not need that anymore or want that, really. I think I do because my wounded self wanted it. But through this process, maybe it's not going to fulfill me the way I thought it was, because it was going to fulfill the wound instead. Now, let's say we weren't in a wounded space and we wanted it to look a certain way. Why? That's all I'm asking. Let's go back to why. Why does it have to look a certain way? What is that certain picture that we had in our mind connected to? What were we going to get out of it? If it had anything to do with stability, I'm pretty sure it's connected to a wound. If it had to do with a relationship that had this checklist, and they had all the benefits in the house and the great smile and whatever, why? What was that connected to? If we're like working on our body and it has to look this way, why? 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 What is it connected to that now it's not looking like it? What was that connected to? That perfect was connected to a necessary means to fill a void in here. And if it's not looking that way, I'm getting really dizzy right now. We're going to have this experience. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's not going to feel right. We're going to be trying to change things, ripping and tearing, rearranging to create this, what we have to see to fill that void. Seven of Wands reversed, lost confidence. It's not coming. It's not here. Why is this taking so long? Losing confidence. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with like saying, I want a house in this area, or I want a long-lasting, loving relationship, and all those kind of things. But they have to have brown hair. I don't know. I'm not saying it's that crazy, but when we really want something, got to be honest with ourselves and ask why, and really be open with ourselves to go back. Is this benefiting an insecurity? Is this benefiting a wound? Is this coming from a place of lack connected to that wound or that fear or that worry or some complex I made around all of that? And then we can ask, why is it so important? Because if it's connected to it, that's why. There's a void there inside of us. And we think inside that I need this to feel that way. And once I have it, I'll be perfect, or everything will be great, and it'll be voila. That's normally connected to it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having these nice things or that person in that relationship. But if it's really difficult for us to get to, and we're doing all this work or we're making all this effort and it's still not coming and we're losing this confidence, there's a bigger message here. There's a bigger reasoning. And I'm not saying that we can't have it or that it won't come, but it's an opportunity to ask ourselves some questions. I thought there was another card upright. No. The world reversed, unfinished. That is the question. What cycle are we possibly still in that we need to close out to get there? And as I already said, if I was in a place that I wanted this, whatever it was, and it was going to fill that void connected to that wound or that insecurity or that worry, that fear, whatever it is, I want it for that, which means if I had it right now, it would feed that wound. It would feed that, and I wouldn't have to heal it because it'd be taken care of. It'd be cared for. If I had all that money, it would be gone. I wouldn't need to heal it. But through this process, we have to achieve. We have to close that cycle out. And if all of our energy, if all we're ever thinking about is getting to that perfect experience, that perfect person, that perfect job, that perfect bank account, whatever it is, we're going to be in that limbo. It's going to be that carrot in front of the horse. It's going to be too far to reach. It's not going to be here yet because I need it for that wound. But instead, this opportunity, this stagnation, this situation right now is to heal it. And through that process, this is going to sound backwards, but through that process of generating that feeling or coming to a place of inner peace without having it, I indirectly, my vibration changes and it comes and it's there. And that's where they all get into the manifesting talk. And this isn't really, it's not, you can't do it like I'm going to manipulate my mind to say, hey, I'm feeling this way to get it. Because that's never going to be true deep down inside because we still have that wound. We still have that insecurity, that fear, or that worry. So it's never going to go away, unless we heal that wound, which would be closing out that cycle. And when I use the word wound, it sounds like we're all broken and stuff, but it's just something inside of us that made it too far out of reach, made it impossible to achieve, made it unacceptable for us to receive, to experience, whatever it may have been. This might be something we picked up in this life, past life, lineage, our ancestral line. The High Priestess, intuition. We constantly have probably been getting notions or information along this, but whatever it's connected to, we're kind of, yeah, I want, it's over here. This is what I want, and this is what I'm going to, and I'm going to keep pushing till I get it. However, I got to get it, I'm going for it, and it's got to look this way. We're getting intel, information, whether from our higher self, God, source divine, gods, goddesses, deities, guardian angels, guides, whatever we're subscribed to, trying to help us, trying to show us all the signs, but we don't want to see it. How could we see it when my eyes won the prize? And that's pretty natural. That's a normal experience. But if we really want to get there and we really want to close this cycle out, we got to start looking at the truth. And we're not at fault here. There's no blame. We're trying to help to get to just get there, while also closing this out. Underneath instability, Two of Pentacles reversed is inner conflict. Two of Swords. This is this push and pull. Back when I was getting dizzy, like we are going, I need it to feel a certain way, but yet we have to let go of it. And it's not really an easy thing to do. So like we often say, just feel the way that you would feel if you had it, or let it go and it will come. No, we have to release whatever it is that's connected to it, that wound. And that's not easy. Just let it go. No, like let's really dig in there and figure out why I feel so empty without it, or what is this wound encompassed around inside of me, and how many other places in my life is that affecting that I may not be aware of. These wounds or these traumas can really be intertwined and connected with so many other aspects of our life than we know. How many other places are we making decisions based upon this wound that currently we perceive as whatever this perfect thing is, and we're lacking it? Where else is that lack experienced in our life right now? The Hierophant reversed, rebellion. This is underneath lost confidence, and it's kind of given this feeling of just getting irritated, really fed up with the circumstances, with the situation, and taking control into our own hands in a destructive way. We can try to follow everything by the book and do what everybody says, and be patient and all that shit, and it gets annoying, it gets frustrating. We're getting to the end, and what was the point of all of this? And maybe things are happening that aren't really benefiting it, or we feel like we're going so much farther backwards, and we're getting upset and say, well, I want to have control in this somehow. And this is where we can get a bit destructive, trying to go up against the system, the pattern. Sure, we can look at it as the matrix or whatever, but let's just look at it as universal law, or the way energy is being handled right now. And we're trying to bully our way or bulldoze our way through this to get what it is that we want, or want to experience this perfect experience, which there's nothing wrong with that. But we can't get through because it's the opportunity to heal this wound, to see it for what it is, and to let it go. And instead, we're trying to muscle our way through it, whether we're aware of it or not. If we're aware of it, well, we should be aware that it's just not going to work. We should be able to get the idea that, okay, I need to look at this differently, and it's not the way that I'm seeing it. Otherwise, if we're not aware of it, we're just going to be stuck for a bit till we actually see what's going on here and how this is connected to something inside of us. And maybe it's like this whole aspect of like, I've freaking healed enough, I've done all these things, and you want me to do more? We got the King of Pentacles, reliability. This is underneath the World reversed, unfinished. What is reliable? It's feeding that wound. That's been proven to me all my life, that if I have this, or I do this, or this person says this up against my insecurity, It feels better. It makes me feel safe. If I have this control, or I do this or that in my life, it makes me feel stable and safe. But whatever it is I'm after will do that too. But that one is out of my reach, and I can't bring it in, and I want it because it's going to make the wound okay. This is this opportunity to heal it, to release it, to learn it, to understand it, to finally be done with it. And through that process, whatever it was that we wanted will be there, or it'll come and we'll be like, oh, I don't even want that anymore because I'm not living the wound anymore. I'm not the wound anymore, and I only wanted that for the wound. And then we have that new opportunity. So that could be another reason why it's not here, because we only wanted it for the wound. And once that's healed, or we figure that out, uh, we want something different. That's 10 times better. And we're a match for it then, and we can have it. So I'm going to leave this here. If this resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will talk to you all later. See you.